Insha'Allah ta'ala, we will commence our program for the day 4 of Rabiul Awwal Sharif, leading up to the 12th of Rabiul Awwal. Insha'Allah, can I get everybody to recite Durood Sharif one time for the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam? Insha'Allah. Allahumma salli wa sallim mubarak ala Sayyidina Muhammad. وما تحب وترضى بأن تصلي عليه صلاة وسلاما عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. एक मरतबा और बावाज़ बुलंद दुरूद पाक का हदिया पेश फरमाएं. अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली व सल्लिम व ज़िद व बारिक अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद वमा तुहिब्बु व तर्दा ब अन तुसल्ली अलैहि सलातन व सलामन अलैका या हबीबी या रसूलल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम. These blessed days of Rabiul Awwal signifies the arrival of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam as the greatest mercy of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Today, insha'Allah ta'ala, we will talk a little bit about where Sheikh Amir left off, and a little bit about the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But before we begin, insha'Allah, I'll ask one of our Hifz students. Why are you shaking your head? One of our Hifz students, Mustaqim Sallamahu, to come up, insha'Allah ta'ala. He will recite Surah Duha, insha'Allah, for us. And Surah Duha, as he comes up, I've already called you, so you can make your way now. And Surah Duha is also the Naat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is Mustaqim Sallamahu.
Salamualaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless his parents and allow him to fully finish memorizing the Quran al-Kareem, insha'Allah. He is one of Sheikh Muhammad's. And one advice I will give him is not easy standing up here. And you did very well, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you amongst the Qurra of Islam. Inshallah ta'ala, I just want to touch on a few things about the seerah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, when upon entering this world and growing up, it is the riwaj of the Arab world at the time that when a child is born, they are given to a foster mother to take care of them. Understanding the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam and why he was sent to this dunya as a mercy for all of the worlds, that wherever he went, even as an infant child, he was showing mercy to everyone around him. I take you to the time of the house of Sayyida Tayyiba Tahira Halima As-Saadiyya radiyallahu anha wardaha. She was a very poor woman. She didn't have any money. The crops that she had wouldn't grow. The animals that she had would not give milk. Upon the arrival of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in their home, he just as an infant child touched the camels and the goats. They went from being sick to fully strengthened. Just by the touch of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam as an infant child. Not only this, They started to send out nourishments, meaning they started to flow in from milk from their bodies. Their crops started to grow. And Sayyidah Halima As-Saadiyah started to become one of the biggest business owners of Makkah al-Mukarramah. She used to sell the milk from the goats that never used to give milk in the beginning. Upon the arrival of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam in her home. Allahu Akbar. As an infant child, she used to see him in the cradle. Allahu Akbar. And as an infant child, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was in the care of Sayyidah Halima radiyallahu anha wa ardaha. What happened? She started to see that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was moving his finger. And wherever he moved his finger, the moon would continue to move along with the finger of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Why? I understand from this, me, myself, that even as an infant child, no infant child is like the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. I understand that the finger and the ishara, we make ishara. I'm doing ishara now. My ishara and the ishara of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam is completely different. When he makes ishara to the moon to go left, the moon goes left. When he makes ishara for the moon to go right, the moon goes right. Hatta the Quran gives us dalil of his ishara. The Quran al-Kareem gives you the evidence of the ishara. Wal shakul kamar. That with his ishara, the moon split. Allahu Akbar. Imagine this ishara. The ungli Mubarak of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam is not like your ungli. That when he raises it, what did Sayyidi Ala Hazrat say about this vakya? Ishare se chand ko cheer diya. Allahu Akbar. That with his ishara, as he just needed to point by the will and might of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the moon started to split. Suraj ulte, paon palte, chand ishare se ho chak. Abhe ande najdi dekh le kudrat Rasulullah ki. Look at the kudra of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. With one ishara, the moon started to split. We need to stop thinking the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is like me and you. That everything he touches becomes purified. Everything he touched became purified. Even as an infant child. And when he used to stay in the arm of Sayyidah Halima, she narrates that continuously as an infant child, only 1 month, 2 months, 3 months old child. And mashallah, look, we have children in the masjid. When they start to speak, maybe after 2 years, up until 2 years, little bit of words, mummy, daddy, papa, mama, like this. The tasbih of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was heard by Sayyidah Halima from the zuban of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. No child is like the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And imagine if no child is like the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam as a child. Imagine when he grow up. Imagine when he grows up. That what started to happen. And then Sayyidah Halima mentions that I saw that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam was taken in the middle of the night. I was looking for him. He was gone. He disappeared. When upon arriving, he started to descend. And that's when the first splitting of the chest of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam happened. Now I just want to touch about this. That the splitting of the chest. Often people, there's one, we shouldn't even call him a mufti, but one mufti who's very apparently famous. He said that the chest, aliyadu billah, was open and the chest was, the heart was washed, and it was washed from jealousy, malice, hasad. Jealousy and all other bad deeds or bad thoughts and khayalat. Allahu Akbar. Do you think that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, that Allah would chose that individual who in his heart to lead his favorite nation and his favorite people, that they would choose the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam to lead them, and that individual would have jealousy, hatred, malice, envy, hasad, and badghumani in their heart. Allahu Akbar. My brothers, listen to these people. People, millions of followers all over the world. Wallah, it doesn't matter. That individual who can speak utter disrespect about the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, I will give you this dalil. Imam Hajar Asqalani rahimahullah ta'ala in Fathul Bari mentions about the opening of the chest. Shaykh is here, he can give you gawai. Imam Hajar mentions that when the chest of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam was opened and Ab-e Zamzam was used to wash the heart of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, it was not the heart that was being purified, it was Ab-e Zamzam that was being purified. Okay, anything that touches the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam becomes pure and pak. Everything about him is pure and pak. My Imam said, Teri nasle pak se hai, bacha bacha noor ka. That every person that came from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, because of their nisbat with Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam, became noor as well. Har bacha bacha noor ka, tu hai aine noor, tera sab garana noor ka. About the noor of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, that everywhere he went, and I mentioned this hadith, I apologize to Shaykh because in his khutbah, he covered for me. Allah bless Shaykh Muhammad, a real alim of the deen. Sayyidah Amina says, kharajahu minni shihabun, meaning came from me a beaming star. Aba'atul ardu kulluha. That where did the star go? That the star went up into the skies. And it illuminated the skies. They said, how much? Kulluha, all of it. That when he was born, the entire sky was illuminated. As far as Sayyidah Amina could see, it was light. Ihsan lafaz mein aapko keh dunga. That everywhere that she looked, Sayyidah Amina, whether it was towards east or to west, whether it was above, it was all noor hi noor. Subh Taiba mein hui batta hai bara noor ka, sadqa lene noor ka, aaya hai tara noor ka. My Imam talked about every aspect of the seerah of Muhammad Mustafa alayhi salatu wassalam is from Quran and Sunnah. Ke subh taiba mein hui batta hai bara noor ka, sadqa lene noor ka, aaya hai tara noor ka. That tara came from Sayyidah Amina Tayyiba Tahira radiyallahu anha wa ardaha. This is, my brothers, understand the blessing of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam in our lives. The concept of illumination. Okay, why did Allah pick a beaming light? قَدْ جَاءَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ. Why noor? All the time noor. Noor min noorillah. We talk about this all the time. Noor from the creation of the noor of Allah. We talk about this, that he was a noor created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That wherever every zamana saw this special sitara, this noor, Sayyidina Adam saw it, Sayyidina Nuh saw it, Sayyidina Ibrahim saw it, all the way to Sayyidina Isa, everybody in between saw it. Why noor? Because there is a difference in the time when it's winter and the days become very short. Udasi paida hoti hai. You feel depressed. When it's cold, you feel depressed. But when the sun is beaming and the weather is great and the days are much longer, the sun is are out longer, the days stretch out, 12, 13, 14-hour days. How does one feel? You feel like going outside. You feel like doing things with your family. You feel engaged. You get vitamin D from the sun. You feel much better. Sicknesses increase in the month of winters. The flu season is coming now, all of this. So when it gets colder and the days are shorter, udasi paida hoti hai. Allahu Akbar. Now imagine those people who were completely lost. Those who were amongst the people of shirk. Those people who didn't understand nikah. Those people who didn't understand the izzat and azamat of a woman. Those individuals who used to bury their daughters alive. Those people who were believing in this God and that God and this God and that God, iyadu billah. Those people who were fornicating, drinking alcohol, lying and cheating. All of that, they needed a beam of light to disperse their iman. That individual came on the 12th of Rabiul Awwal al-Sharif in the year of the elephant to illuminate your iman, to save your iman, to safeguard your iman. That if you believe in him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will tell you about nur ala nur. meaning Allah Jalla wa Ala. He will tell you about Iman. He will tell you about Deen. He will tell you about Sharia. He will tell you about Namaz and Zakat. Lastly, my brothers, understand this couplet that a Shahir wrote. Ke Deen mila unke sadke, Iman mila unke sadke. And I'm adding to it, Quran mila unke sadke. Roza, Zakat, Hajj, Qibla, Kaaba, sab mila unke sadke. Wo kya hai jo humne paya nahi? Wo kya hai? What is there that we didn't get from Rasulullah alayhi salatu wassalam? And it's clear cut in every aspect of the Quran al-Kareem. And I'm going to conclude now. And the brothers asked me to speak about Surah Al Imran. Inshallah, tomorrow night I'm going to speak about this Ayatul Mubarak. But meaning to say that we all need guidance. We all need guidance. We all need a pathway. We all need some type of security of Iman. You find it in the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam. He is that individual who has sparked our Iman. He builds the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our hearts. He gives us Iman in our hearts. He keeps us off the path of shaitan and keeps us on Sirat al-Mustaqim. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to stay firm on Sirat al-Mustaqim. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to walk on the path of our beloved Habib alayhi salatu wassalam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to be amongst those who are lifted with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Give us maut in Madinatul Manawwara. Give us buried in Jannatul Baqi. May we be lifted on the day of judgment with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamualaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. دعمت دعته النصارى في نبيهم واحكم بما شئت مدحا فيه واحتكم وانسب إلى ذاته ما شئت من شرف وانسب إلى قدره ما شئت من عظام فإن فضل رسول الله ليس له حد فيعرب عنه ناطق بفم لو ناسبت قدره آياته عظاما أحيا اسمه حين يدعى دارس الرمام لم يمتحنا بما تعيا العقول به حرصا علينا فلم نرتب ولم نهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم أعيا الورى فهم معناه فليس يرى في القرب والبعد فيه غير منفحم كالشمس تظهر للعينين من بعد صغيرة وتكل الطرف من أمامي وكيف يدرك في الدنيا حقيقته قوم نيام تسلوا عنه بالحلم فمبلغ العلم فيه أنه بشر وأنه خير خلق الله كلهم فمبلغ العلم فيه أنه بشر وأنه خير خلق الله كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم وكل آي أتى الرسل الكرام بها فإنما اتصلت من نوره بهم فإنه شمس فضل هم كواكبها يظهرن أنوارها للناس في الظلام. أكرم بخلق نبي زانه خلق بالحسن مشتمل بالبشر متسم كالزهر في ترف والبدر في شرف والبحر في كرم والدهر في همام. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. كأنه وهو فرد من جلالاته في عسكر حين تلقاه وفي حشم. كأنما اللؤلؤ المكنون في صدف من معدني منطق منه ومبتسم. لا طيب يعادل تربا ضم أعظمه لا طيب يعادل تربا ضم أعظمه. طوبى لمنتشق منه وملتثم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم. صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. 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 الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. صلى الله على محمد صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. 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 صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم.
طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع. طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع. وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع. أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع. أنت غوثنا جميعا يا مجمل الطيبات. طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع. وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع. وصلاة الله دوام للنبي شمس البقاع. وكذال وصحاب ما سعى لله سعى. طلع البدر علينا ياتي الوداع. وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع. طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع. وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع. طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع. وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع. يا رسول الله سلام عليك. يا حبيب الله سلام عليك. सबसे आला वो आला हमारा नबी। सबसे बाला वो वाला हमारा नबी। या रसूल अल्लाह सलामुन अलैक। या हबीब अल्लाह सलामुन अलैक। अपने मौला का प्यारा हमारा नबी। दोनों आलम का दूल्हा हमारा नबी। या रसूल अल्लाह सलामुन अलैक। या हबीब अल्लाह सलामुन अलैक। लामकां तक उजाला है जिसका वो है। हर मकान का उजाला हमारा नबी। या रसूल अल्लाह सलामुन अलैक। یا حبیب اللہ سلام علیک غمزدوں کو رضا مجدہ دیجئے کہ ہے بے کسوں کا سہارا ہمارا نبی مجھ سے خدمت کے قدسی کہیں ہاں رضا مصطفیٰ جان رحمت پہ لاکھوں سلام السلام 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 انبیاء کے امام السلام
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا يا رب بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين